This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Minaal Crossbody 2.0 bag, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So the primary material on this pack is picton fabric, which is from Minaal. It's 600D recycled polyester. I think it looks sleek and it's held up very well durability-wise. It's not the most water-resistant fabric that I have tested on a sling before, but overall, I like how it looks. Good other components on this bag as well. We have on the back here a Woojin magnetic buckle, very snappy, very easy to get used to, even if you haven't used one of these before. Its placement in the center, you obviously there are adjustments on either side here, so you could kind of move it a little bit out of the center, but if you're wearing this on your front and want to wear a backpack with it, this is going to be on your back. It's pretty flat, so it's not super noticeable, but just something to keep in mind that this is, directly in the center of your back if you want to wear this with a backpack, but overall pretty comfortable in my personal opinion. We've got pretty good zippers throughout. These are very small YKKs here on this secondary compartment. We have one on each side there, which we'll get into in a little bit. A little bit beefier zipper here on the main compartment and YKK zippers on the inside as well. So this all comes together pretty nicely, at least in my opinion. But I will say, and this is not just my opinion on this one, I've asked a few people, this just seems a little bit cheap looking. It's not. The materials are very durable. The hardware is very durable. It all comes together very nicely, but it just looks kind of cheap. It looks like something you might get at like a dollar store or something like that. Obviously, I think this is going to last you much longer, and I think that there are perks to that as well. Like a lot of times when you're traveling, you don't want to draw attention to yourself with like an expensive looking bag, and this is definitely going to do that. It's very subdued, but it's going to last because it has those high quality materials and components. So just something to keep in mind, that a few people were like, oh, that looks like a nice sling, like how much does it cost? And then I told them, and they're like, wow, that does not look like it should cost that much. So just something to keep in mind, and maybe you feel differently. If you do, let us know in the comments so we can be more informed on what people are feeling. But overall, very happy with how this comes together on the outside. So the back panel is pretty well padded here for a sling of this size. Got some nice padding, and there's like a really fine mesh there too that helps with breathability. It does get a bit warm, especially on like a hot sunny day, because it's all black and just kind of zaps that heat into it. But overall, I found that to be pretty comfortable. The strap itself does not have any padding or aeration or anything like that, but because it's not a huge sling, even if you load this up to its capacity, it's not going to be too like just big on your shoulder or anything, or dig in on your shoulder too much. If you're wearing a very thin shirt or like you have a tank top on or something like that, it will feel a little bit uncomfortable maybe if you fill it out all the way, but still I don't think it's going to be too abrasive or anything like that, because it does have a big footprint, but it's a small sling, so you can't put that much weight inside of here. So overall, pretty happy with the strap. Again, we do have the center buckle, which may deter some people if you want to wear it with a backpack, but I did test it to see, and you didn't feel it too much, but it is going to depend on the backpack and how tight you're wearing this, etc. But one of my favorite things about the sling are these, what I call hip huggers here. So they kind of get rid of any pinching between the strap and the actual sling itself, and they have like a nice padding to them, and they're like a little bit stretchy mesh, so it just kind of gives you a nice little hug while you're wearing it, whether it be as a crossbody or a fanny pack or however you want to wear it. It just adds a little bit of comfort in my personal opinion. Now, everybody doesn't like those, but I really do dig it. It makes it just feel a little bit more comfortable to me. So if you are finding this video helpful, make sure you throw a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. So this is how I typically wore it. I know that I wear slings a little bit tighter than a lot of people do. I just like having it close to my body, especially if I'm cycling or something like that. And the hip huggers really do help when you have it that close, because it's just kind of like conforming it to your body, and you're not really getting as much strap hitting you as you would otherwise. Very easy to, I hope I don't hit the mic here, but transition from front to back. It would typically be easier than that. I did just hit the mic there a little bit, so I apologize for that. But it is very easy to transition, especially while I was cycling, just kind of go from one to the other. And when you have it like this, it's very easy to take on and off, because we do have the buckle right there. And then you can also, if you want to, wear this as a fanny, or a whatever kind of bag you want to call it. Not my favorite look in the world, but to be honest, no waist bag is really doesn't really do it for me, but you can do it if you want to. And the transition is very easy. That magnetic buckle just kind of pops on and off. Just depends how you want to wear it, how tight you want to wear it, etc. So we do have two secondary compartments, of those hidden pockets I mentioned when talking about the zippers earlier. So they're very small. Right now I just have some cash stowed in this one over here. Got a $50 bill, sits inside there nicely. So it goes to about, let me see here, about right here. So I haven't found much of a practical use for these pockets other than something like cash like that, maybe like a transit card or something. But there's another one on the other side here, and it's basically exactly the same. They're identical, comes to about right here. Like you can't fit, maybe if you have like a folding phone or a non-smartphone, you might be able to slide it in there. Maybe some gum, something like that. You can put those inside of there. I like the inclusion of one, but I wish it maybe only, I guess it doesn't get in your way, so having two doesn't really matter, but I just don't really have a use for two of them. I wish one was maybe a little bit bigger so I could fit a passport in there nicely without having to worry about it getting crinkled or anything like that. That'd be a great place to stow that so it's closer to your body, a little bit more hidden. But overall, like I said, they don't get in your way, so I can't really be mad that there's two included because you might have a use for two, and hopefully you drop a comment below to tell us what you're using it for, because we're trying to figure out what other than money or a transit card or some gum that you could stow inside of there. But the real party is inside the main compartment here. Open this up, nice sturdy zipper. Got a pretty good opening. You can get pretty good access to your gear depending what you have stowed inside of here. Got some big over-ear headphones to show that you can fit some larger items in here, even though there isn't a ton of depth because it's a pretty big footprint, but just not a lot of width here. So I was able to fit these headphones inside of there pretty easily. And then we've got some organization here on the back wall. No organization up here, just kind of space for gear. So I got my wallet in one of the pockets here, chum surf shorts, a little snack bar for lunch later. And then we have these two pockets over here, I would say are small to medium sized with elastic topper there. And then we have a bigger pocket here. So that's where I like to put my wallet, or if I had something similar sized, I'd put it there. So elastic on the top, it's not the most snappy, but it does hold on to gear pretty well. I never had anything fall out while I was testing it. And then we have a zippered compartment here, another YKK zipper that you can stow like your phone in or something. Flat does well here. If you have a smaller tablet or something like that, that would probably fit here. There is padding here on the back panel to protect it from anything that might get hit this way, but there isn't any really padding here. It's just material on this side. So if you are gonna put some tech in there, maybe put a case on it or just be careful when you have it inside of there. So I like this bag because it does have some organization, but it doesn't really bog you down. There's not a ton of organization inside of here. Sometimes with smaller slings, I feel like they put a bunch of organization because it's like, okay, we have this much space, this is what we're gonna do with it, and I can commend that sometimes. But for a travel sling, you kind of want to have more versatility, I guess. So, and this has that because you can fit quite a bit of gear in this open area, and then there is some organization that doesn't really get in your way if you don't want to use it, but it is there if you do want to use it. And overall, this thing just blends in really nicely, in my personal opinion, and just very comfortable to wear. The only gripe I do have is maybe the placement of this buckle, but as I said, it is pretty comfortable just because of how flat it is overall. So very happy with this as a travel sling. Be curious to think what you think about it as an everyday carry sling as well. So there you have it, the Minaal Crossbody 2.0 bag. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.